Hey guys, welcome to Make a Slant. Now, today we're really going to be talking about the two things you need to change your life. The two things you need to change your life. Now, the reason why this is important is because I found these two things to be true, and my life has completely shifted from when I was younger and completely bombed out of college, but I was struggling through so many things and just trying to figure out what to do. And it was at a critical point to where it was, I really had to make a decision of if I want my life to be better and I want to succeed in numerous areas of my life, not just in my work, but also at home with my wife, just with my emotional status, with my health, with my finances. If I wanted to be successful in those areas, I needed to change something. So, what we're going to talk about again are the two things that you need to change your life. So, I'm going to draw a little axis here because there's two things that you need, and one without the other is not going to make a lot of sense. So, one thing you need is you need knowledge, which means you need to learn. And then the other thing you need is wisdom. Now, wisdom, in a sense, is the application of that knowledge. And so we have these four quadrants, and depending on if you have little knowledge or high knowledge or little wisdom or much wisdom, it's really going to determine where you're going to go in life. So we have over here, we have the quadrant one, where we have low knowledge and low wisdom, which this is just the dormant stage. You don't want to be here. You're not learning and you're not applying anything. That's you don't want to be there. And on the other side is you have no little knowledge, but you have wisdom. Here you're going to reach a capacity because you're using the things that you know, but you only know so much. But then on the other side is you have a lot of knowledge, but very little wisdom. I'd say this is almost the foolish stage. You have a lot of knowledge, but very little wisdom, which means you're not really applying what you know. You know that you should be in work on time, but yet you don't do it. You know that you should love others, but yet you don't do it. You know that you should not say those things to your spouse, but yet you don't do it. But the last one that we really want to hit in our lives is where we have high knowledge and high wisdom. And when you do that, you become a top performer. Now, not just a top performer at work, but really in life, because most people, they lack one or the other. They lack, in a sense, of knowledge of they've stopped learning and they stopped growing their mind and increasing their capacity. So they have wisdom, but they're limited in the things that they can do because they are capped. But then you also have somebody who has a lot of, let's say on the bottom, they're dormant, they're not growing, and they're not using anything. That's ground zero. You do not want to be there because you're not going to get the changes that you want in life. You're really not going to be able to get the effect that you want. You're not going to be able to get the outcomes that you want. It's hard to move forward in life when you don't know what you don't know. But then also when you're not even using it. So we don't want to be dormant. And again, the other part of it is just being foolish. So how you can transition from, let's say, from dormant, or let's say you want to transition from dormant or the capacity stage or the foolish stage, because what we want to do is we want to get to top performer. So if you are wanting to get to top performer, there's a couple things that you need to do. Number one is you need to know where you are. So that's a great thing, is just think about, where are you? Where are you? So depending on what stage you're in, what phase you're in, what quadrant you're in, now you know the steps that you need to take. So if you are in dormant, if you are not getting any knowledge or any wisdom, or if you're not applying it, I'd say the first step is to just start with knowledge. Just start with reading something. I mean, my goodness, just read a book. Listen to this podcast. That's great, right? Just start somewhere, and that will get you just one step closer. Again, this is not a one-day thing. This is a way of life. So we're not saying read a book and never revisit stuff that you're trying to learn. The other part from that, so number one, get knowledge. Number two, just one, let me see, one choice at a time. Meaning, in order to really use wisdom, it's going to be hard if you try to apply it to everything. But that comes because if you are just learning and just increasing your knowledge, stay focused on what you just learned and stay focused on how can you apply what you have just learned. So don't get squirrel brain, don't go squirrel and start trying to move around. Just stay focused. What did you just learn? How can you apply what you just learned? Once that's done, then you can be able to move to learning something else. And remember, we want to learn, but if we're not applying what we're learning, then we're going to be capped. We're going to hit our capacity. So the next step, if you are at the capacity stage, let's say you are learning a lot, but you are not applying what you have learned. Again, you can always start with where are you? In a sense of, what do you know about how to have a successful marriage or a healthy marriage? What do you know about how to have a healthy budget that works? What do you know about how to create some healthy habits for your life? Or how to go to sleep on time? How to eliminate distractions? How to increase my performance at work? How to be a person that's on time? Just kind of take an inventory of the different domains of life, but then really think about, what do you know? And then based off what do you know, are you actually using those things? Are you applying what you know? How can you increase that? So you have you have the application of these things, but when you really get down to the details, you can say, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to increase my performance at work. I don't know how to have a healthy marriage. I don't know how to budget my money. And so when you recognize, when the signal happens of, I don't know that, I think I need to know how to do that, then that's when you can increase the knowledge. Increase the knowledge by reading, by listening, by asking questions. Meet somebody who you can look up to, or maybe it's a peer or a mentor. Get a coach. I coach. Just find somebody, find a way to learn, find a way to grow. Now, the other part is, if you are down here in the foolish stage, right? Where you have a lot of knowledge, but you're not applying the wisdom. You're not using it. The best thing I would say regards to just being in that foolish area, number one, is don't beat yourself up. It happens. It happens. But number two is take an assessment of where you are in your life and where are the pain points. Where are the pain points from the decisions that you've made that's more alarming than others? Again, we can't change everything at the same time. It's a process. And so with knowing that it's a process, I'd say take your time, find the most alarming issue right now to where you're going, I've been foolish in this area, change it, and then apply what you know. That's how you can transition from foolish, having a lot of knowledge but not applying the wisdom, into a top performer, which is someone who utilizes the wisdom. They continue to grow, they continue to learn, but they're not learning just for learning's sake. They're actually using the skills and developing themselves, increasing their performance, but it also just doesn't help them. It helps other people around them, and that's what a leader does. A leader doesn't just make themselves better, they make the people around them better. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, you want to, in order to have a successful life, which is something that's meaningful to you, I'm not saying $1 million and all those other things, But in order for you to have a successful life in regards to each area of your life, whether that's marriage, relationships, financial, business, personal, all those things, you need knowledge and wisdom. You need to apply both of them. You need to continue to learn and grow, but then also apply what you've learned. And when you do that, you are going to be a top performer. And life isn't just about being a top performer, but remember, a top performer is someone who excels, but they also help people around them. So if you are foolish, you're not really going to help a lot of people. If you are dormant, you're not really going to help a lot of people. But also, if you hit your capacity as a leader, then there's people that may want to pass that level, your current level, but then there's people above you that you still can't reach yet because you've hit your capacity. So with that said, utilize wisdom, utilize knowledge, continue to grow so that you can be a top performer. Thank you for joining me today. And again, I hope that you are, my whole heart is to just help leaders just win. Just win at work and at life. You can create healthy habits, and you can win at both. It is completely possible. With that said, be a top performer, and let's go and let's grow together.